So, in the eastern position, we have Pimpintosh in the yellow, while Sasha here is on the west side in rocking the quartermaster green. So, when we go ahead and look into both of these lovely compositions, Miss Queen Sasha, she is going to be rocking the Squizzard composition with a dab of Falcon and Skunk Cam Snake going 4 tier 2s in this composition. Meanwhile, for Pimpintosh, we have a squirrel going to tag in with the pigeons, as well as 3 tier 2s in Skunk, Cams, and Snake, while also rocking the Badger in this matchup. So some very interesting compositions in this one. I know Sasha's especially is very interesting. We don't really see a lot of NAS tier 2 play with like no regards to tier 3 whatsoever. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays around. Now Sasha's going to go ahead and get into an early extension here with one Warren to get some units up to help defend. Meanwhile, for Pimpintosh, he's going to respond with a mill of his own, as well as getting a couple of Squirrel Warrens coming his way. Actually, where's the... Oh, there's the one. They're just kind of both in different positions, which is interesting, because I'm assuming that that's there to kind of tank a little bit if there was going to be some early abuse from lizards, which I'm sure is going to be coming, because Sasha, she is known for some lizard play. I think she enjoys doing some early lizard rushes, so that's going to be fun. But of course, Pimpintosh does see that the extension is going up for 3 farms, as he's gonna probably go up to, I think he went up to a 4th farm, or is he building another? Yep, he's gonna build another unit for squirrels, and might looking into buying another one as well, or is he gonna go tier 2? Yep, gonna go tier 2 this time. He drops down a couple of tier 2s, makes his army a little bit bigger in tier 1. So right now, when it comes to army, Pimpintosh will be in the lead a little bit. Meanwhile, well, of course, that's gonna, as I say that, that's gonna get tied up as we're seeing Sasha starting to build things up on her end. So now that Pimpintosh is gonna go ahead and slowly build that 16 farm up, while Sasha hasn't done that herself. Now, it's gonna be very intriguing to see how both of these players do so far, as right now Sasha really starting to build up the tier 2 right now. Pimpintosh as well doing the same thing. Both of them have 3 Warrens of tier 2. Each one is different. So for Pimpintosh, we're going to see a combination of obviously Snake, Cam, and Skunk. Meanwhile, for Sasha, as I say that, it's going to get one of each for all 4, as Skunk, Cams, and Falcons start to come out, and Sasha really starting to build the Falcons a little bit, probably looking to possibly say goodbye to the squirrels just in case they end up getting wiped out. And of course, Sasha doing some cliff abuse, taking out a pig, getting a good bit of squirrels in the early going. And now the snake tags are coming in. One squirrel goes down, well, one falcon goes down, excuse me. But Sasha really getting a lot of value here in this battle, as a lot of pigs go down. A majority of the army for Pimpintosh does go down in that case. So really, really good battle there for Sasha in that early going ahead on army, and definitely going big on the economy as well. So really good one, very impressive. And now Sasha, all she's got to do is continue building up that that army as we start getting past the 5-minute mark. Meanwhile, for Pimpintosh, he's got a lot of building up to do, because now that a good percent of his economy got hit, even though he does have a third base up, that's gonna be a risky base because that one is so prone to cliff abuse. It's not even funny. So with the fact that this option, this area right here, like there's a pathway to this, so that's like easy picking if there really isn't any kind of defense for Pimpintosh, which is the case. But as I say this, he is going to go all in as the Badger is now out and about. So we'll see how well that's going to play out for between Pimpintosh and Sasha. Sasha is building another mill, possibly looking to base trade here for a base trade scenario, just in case. Because obviously, with that mill being taken, a base trade may end up being the case as we do get into a major battle. And right now, Pimpintosh is just not having a good time. All of his units are down. The mill goes down. Obviously, thankfully, with the help of the pigeons, the Badger does stay alive. But even with that, it's going to be really tough, as now he has going to sell quite a bit of units to try and get some kind of value up, as he only has the Badger left. So he's going to go for another attack, but obviously Sasha has a much superior battle, and there really isn't nowhere to go for this Badger, and the Badger is just trying to struggle, trying to stay alive with only 2 pigeons to support, and those 2 snakes, 4 tags, and that's basically gone. It's looking like GG's here for Sasha. It might be a bit early to say that, but there really isn't a lot for Pimpintosh to really do here. The tags starting to come in. Yep, there's the 4 tags. Badger gets deleted, and that's going to be game 1 going to Sasha. So GG's on that first round. Really, really solid stuff. So, Sasha, Pimpintosh, Sarah. So, there you go. Now, that is game number 1 going over to Sasha. So, good on her for that. Let's go ahead and get into game number 2, shall we? So, on the west side, we've got Pimpintosh in the yellow, while on the east side, we got Sasha in the green. So, Sasha completely changing up the deck. This time we're going to go with the Squall, with a combination of Skunk and Falcon, Cam, as well as the Boar. Meanwhile, Pimpintosh, once again, also changing quite a lot, as we're seeing a little bit of cheesiness here from Queen Sasha. Miss Sasha doing her little sense of cheese, and I'm sure that we're gonna see Pimpintosh catch wind of that. He's already back home. He probably is selling everything, and of course Sasha does the same, and we're all chilling. So you could definitely say that Sasha does have a little bit of the lead in economy in that case, while Pimpintosh does put out a squirrel. So Sasha will be a little bit ahead in economy, and it looks like Sasha's gonna look to cheese once again. But I think I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna call her bluff there. Yep, Sasha does indeed go home. So she's just gonna continue building up her army. Meanwhile, Pimpintosh is probably going to have to chill out for a little bit and hope to build another Warren to match. So, yep, trying to make sure that Sasha's not going to do anything sneaky. So, a lot of action going on, and I haven't even got a chance to talk about Pimpintosh's deck yet, which in this case, is certainly a lot more of a, I guess you could, I'm assuming it's more of a passive composition here, because obviously we're dealing with the lovely owl wolf combination with the dash of skunk and squirrel, and got a lot of defense with the MG and the balloon. And of course we got some cheesiness going. I didn't even realize that Pimpintosh was building another one. See, like, I can't even keep up with the action so far. But Pimpintosh was trying to get something going, but ended up not being the case. So now the MG starts coming down. Pimpintosh may have to utilize on possibly doing a one-pace game for this, which I don't think is necessarily ideal for the composition Pimpintosh is trying to play here, because I'm pretty sure he's just trying to get a chance to stall a little bit and try and slowly build up. But of course he's gonna try to attack here. He's got his skunks, got some decent amount of squirrels, so I imagine a lot of value gonna be put into this one. A pig's gonna go down, I suppose. Yep, there's one. It's gonna be two here pretty soon, and there is two, and he does go home. Both skunks are gonna stay intact, so really good attack there from Pimpintosh to counter the loss of value that he had in losing that mill, and I think it's something else as well. And it looks like Pimpintosh is going to continue trying to go for this forward mill. So again, Sasha's gonna see it, and I am pretty sure that she's gonna try and counter this, I think, or she's gonna look for a possible option to go after it. But right now, both are kind of at a stalemate. Pimpintosh is going to try and catch up on farms, while Sasha, she's already gonna get all 16 of her farms up and running and ready to go. So once things start building, that's gonna be fun, as the wolf is the first one to get put down. I know for a owl wolf composition, I'm pretty sure the owl goes down first, but I'm not too sure on that one. I'm sure someone will probably confirm that with me in the comments. But you know, alright, but now we're getting into another battle here, as Sasha is able to go ahead and take care of business, does get the hold, and now is looking for a counterattack, and she's primed for it, mainly because the fact that the tier 2 is clearly superior, but the balloon is up, so she does decide to go back home, thinking it's not really worth to do another counterattack, especially with the clock, the 5-minute mark finally passing over. So right now, the wolf is now out for Pimpintosh, and it looks like Pimpintosh is looking to possibly use the wolf to kind of give himself much quicker economy. Now that's going to be a bit of a risk here, so Sasha now knows that it's going to be a owl wolf combination here. I'm gonna assume that, yep, she's gonna bring out the board to counter very quickly. So she's gonna say goodbye to her moles, and it looks like she's gonna probably build a couple of tier 2 to try and combat this. So it's gonna be interesting how this goes, as the mass tier 2 is starting to show to counter the possible owl wolf combination that's going to be a bit of a killer. So far, both sides are just slowly building up their economy. I think their economy is just about the same right now. Yeah, pretty much. They just both got up to the same. But Sasha has a little bit more of the advantage, since she has done a really good job of managing. But of course, now that the wolf is out, the owl is out, we're going to see some owl wolf action. We'll see how Sasha counters. And right now, Sasha really doing a good job making Pimpintosh retreat very quickly because of the amount of firepower that Sasha really has. And now Sasha has a good opportunity to counter this with this boar, because the boar is an excellent counter to the owl. Even though the owl is technically a sky unit, the mice that comes out are all ground units, which makes it a lot easier for the boar to go and mow down, as the case here. Now everyone's basically out. The only thing that is left for Pimpintosh is the 2 tier 3s, and if he loses one of them, that might be game. And the wolf is already halfway dead. And right now, we're seeing some of the balloons go down. And that is going to be the case. And it looks like we're going to see a base race situation here for Pimpintosh, as Pimpintosh is looking to hopefully do what he can to get rid of all these mills to possibly win that way. That's pretty much the best case scenario for him to get this victory. But here comes the rest of the unit. Second base goes down for Sasha. He's going to have to push back, because once that wolf is out, that's going to make things a lot more difficult to keep around. Because if it's just the wolf by itself or the owl by itself, you can't imagine this to be really good. As another base goes down for Pimpintosh, this base race is not looking very hot for Pimpin, as Sasha might take game 2 depending on how things go and what's her and how she kind of responds to the attempted base race. And obviously now she's just buying all the bases that she can, so that a base race is just not possible. Because even if Pimpintosh does end up destroying 1 or 2, she still has 4 compared to the 1 that is left for Pimpintosh, and Pimpintosh could easily just starve out. And we're seeing another battle here as I'm talking right now to this point. So obviously, with the fact that his units are pretty fast, that could definitely help out in base race situation, but it's not going to do much because he still has to take out an entire base and possibly buy it to stay alive in this, and it's not going to be done in time. So Sasha will take game number 2. Much appreciation, Marcus, for that. But yeah, Sasha 2, Pimpintosh. I don't know how to spell that name, even if it is like right there. So Sasha is taking 2-0. I hope you're doing well, by the way, Mark. It's been a very long time since I last talked with you. But yeah, Sasha 2, Pimpintosh 0. Hope everyone's enjoying their time here, as now we're gonna go ahead and get into game number 3. We'll see if Pimpintosh is gonna be able to take game 3, but right now Sasha is just in full control after the first 2 games. So we'll see how things go as game number 3 commences. On the south side, we have Pimpintosh in the yellow as the civilized, while Sasha rocking the green up north as the KSR. Now, composition goes as follows. We've got the Squall, which is Squirrel Mole, with the Falcon, Skunk. Oh, actually, this is the same composition as game 1. 4 tier 2s and 2 tier 1s with no tier 3 whatsoever. While Pimpintosh deciding to go 3 tier 3, 1 tier 1 with the Squirrel, and 1 MG. That's very interesting. And I don't even think, yeah, now he sees him, so he's gonna sell immediately. he knows he's gonna have one pig at least done. So that pig's done. Sasha sells, and more building. I mean, I can't even get to finish the compositions. That's how good these guys are. They just like, all right, bro, we're not gonna let the caster try and do what he has to do to name off like what comp we're using. We're just gonna be gremlins and, you know, really go fight early and often. Now, looking at the maps a little bit, Sasha definitely has the advantage with so many mills close together. As we're already seeing early tier 2, this time with the snake. So, obviously, Sasha's ready to go ahead and be very aggressive in this matchup. And I think that's one thing tier 2 compositions like this makes it so interesting, is because of the variety you can go. You can go for a normal matchup and just try and do what you can for tier 1 to kind of back off, and then when you got your 16 farms, you can go aggressive and just go mass tier 2 for everything. Or you can easily just like, you know what, we'll go to tier 2 early, be a little greedy, and if I'm able to do it, then I'll be able to do some abuse. And Sasha is going to be able to get at least one snake out and possibly do some damage, but Pimpintosh not wanting to have it, as he does put out a tier 3 very early on. But the problem is, even with the Warrens ready, you still have to wait for someone to come out, and he's gonna lose a couple of Warrens with that. But right now, actually, did Sasha's... I was about to say, did Sasha's commander die? Because it took her a longer time for her to retreat her army. So she may have died during that battle. So she was a little careless in that matchup. But good on Pimpintosh to kind of counter. And only losing one Warren with that. So the tier 3's automatically coming out for the boar. Pimpintosh is looking pretty good here, as he does have 12 squirrels and the boar, but the boar could go down pretty quickly if Sasha isn't, well, excuse me. The boar will probably go down pretty quickly if Pimpintosh isn't too careful. So, for Sasha though, she is gonna go into the moles and pretty much increase her tier 1 units. And she does end up getting a second mill. I believe it's a pocket mill, or is it? Yeah, bit of a pocket mill. And Pimpintosh doing the same thing. Well, not as much, because it's the closest mill that he has. Meanwhile, Sasha, she is doing a pretty good job of trying to get the flank going, but it's not looking like it's going to be much here, as the boar is really making some noise here. Boar does go down, not a lot of value in the explosion, and unfortunately it looks like that this is going to be Sasha's game here. Well, maybe. It depends on how well Pimpintosh's reinforcements helps out with this, but considering that the snake is still out there, Cam is coming, it's not looking too hot for Pimpintosh in this moment, as he does have a mass squirrel count, but the Cams are going to go ahead and continue wiping things up. The snake doing his darndest to try to get everything going, but the mass squirrel is trying to do as much as they can, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Because Sasha's kind of going all in right now. Takes out a Warren. Looking to take out another Warren. And we're finally seeing a lot of units going down for Pimpintosh. Still not really retreating, not giving up. But, yep, there it is. Pimpintosh does end up tapping out, and That means we're going to see a 3-0 sweep as Sasha does take the cake in this one. GG's all around.